Widely believed to be one of his best works, Terence Rattigan's The Browning version was first performed on September 8, 1948 at the historic Phoenix Theatre in London.
The play, the Browning version, is set in a boys' public school, and the classics teacher in the play, Crocker-Harris, is believed to have been based on Rattigan's classic tutor at Harrow School, who is disliked by his students for his uncommon attitude towards them.
The following snippet from the Browning version presents a conversation between Mr. Frank, a teacher, and Taplow, a lower 5th grade student who has been assigned extra work by Crocker-Harris as punishment.
Do I know you?
No, sir.
What's your name?
Tableau.
Taplow. No, I don't. You're not a scientist, I gather?
No, sir. I'm still in the lower fifth and I can't specialize into my next term. That's to say, if I've got my remove, alright?
Don't you know if you've got your remove?
No, sir. Mr. Crocker-Harris does not tell us the results like other masters.
Why not?
Well, you know what he is like, sir.
Well, there's a rule that forms that results should only be announced by the headmasters on the last day of term.
Yes, but who else pays attention to it except Mr. Crocker-Harris?
I don't, I admit. But that's no criterion. So, you've got to wait until tomorrow to know your fate, have you?
Yes, sir.
Supposing the answer is favorable, what then?
Oh, science, sir, of course.
Yes, we get all the slackers.
I am extremely interested in science, sir.
Are you? I'm not. Not at least in science, they'll have to teach.
Well, it's a good deal more exciting than the smug.
What is this muck?
Aeschylus, sir, the Agamemnon.
The Agamemnon is a tragedy written by an ancient Greek writer named Aeschylus, which Taplow seems to be disinterested in.
Your considered views that the Agamemnon is a muck.
Well, no, sir. I don't think the play is muck. Exactly. I suppose in a way it's rather a good plot, really. A wife murdering her husband and all that. I just meant the wits taught to us, like a lot of Greek words strung together and 50 lines if you get them wrong.
You sound a bit bitter, Taplow.
I am rather, sir.
Captain, huh?
No, sir. Extra work.
Extra work on last day of school.
Yes, sir, and I might be playing golf. You would think he would have enough to do anyway himself, considering he is leaving tomorrow for good. But, oh no, I missed it last week when I was ill. So here I am. And look at the weather, sir.
Bad luck. So there's one comfort for you. You're pretty well certain to get your remove tomorrow for being a good boy and taking extra work.
Well, I'm not so sure, sir. That would be true for the ordinary masters, alright? They just wouldn't dare not to give a chap a remove after he's taking extra work. But those sort of rules don't apply to the Mr. Crocker-Harris. I asked him yesterday outright if he'd give me a remove. And do you know what he said, sir?
No. What?
My dear Templar, I have given you exactly what you deserve. No less and certainly no more. Do you know, sir, I think he has marked me down rather than up. I mean, the man is hardly human. Sorry, sir, have I gone too far?
Yes. Much too far.
Sorry, sir, I got carried away.
Evidently. Taplow?
Yes, sir?
What was that Mr. Crocker-Harris said to you? Just repeat it, would you?
My dear Tableau, I have given you exactly what you deserve. No less and certainly no more.
Not in the least like him. Read your ashes and be quiet.
skill is.
Look, at what time did Mr. Crocker-Harris tell you to be here?
6:30, sir.
Well, he's 10 minutes late. Why don't you cut? You can still play golf before the lockup.
Oh no! Cut the crock! Mr. Crocker-Harris! I shouldn't think it's ever been done in the whole time he's been here. God knows what would happen if I did. He'll probably follow me home or something.
I must admit I envy him the effect he seems to have on you boys in the form. You all seem scared of him to death. What does he do? Beat you or something?
Good Lord, no. He's not a sadist like one or two of the others.
I beg your pardon?
A sadist, sir, is someone who gets pleasure out of giving pain.
Indeed. But I think you went on to say some other masters.
Of course they are, sir. I won't mention names. But you know them as well as I do. I know most masters think that we boys don't understand a thing. But sir, you are different. You're young. Well, comparatively. Anyways, in your science, you must know what sadism is.
Good Lord, what are our schools coming to?
Anyway, the Croc isn't a sadist. That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't be so frightening if he were, because at least it would show he has some feelings. But he hasn't. He's all shriveled up inside like a nut and seems to hate people to like him. I don't know any other master who doesn't like being liked.
And I don't know any boy who doesn't use that for his own purpose.
Well, it's natural, sir, but not with the Croc.
Mr. Crocker-Harris?
Mr. Crocker-Harris. The funny thing is that, in spite of everything, I do rather like him, and I can't help it. I think he sees it, and that seems to shrivel him up even more.
I'm sure you're exaggerating.
No, sir, I'm not. In form the other day, he made one of his classical jokes. Of course, nobody laughed, because nobody understood it, myself included. But still, I knew he meant it as funny, so I laughed. Out of common ordinary politeness and feeling a bit sorry for him for having made a poor joke. Now, I can't remember what the joke was, but suppose I make it. Now you laugh, sir?
Ha.
Tableau, you laughed at my little joke? I noticed. I must confess that I'm pleased at the advance Latin has made, since you so readily have understood what the rest of the form did not. Perhaps now you would be good enough to explain it to them, so that they too can share your pleasure.
The door upright is pushed open and Millie Crocker-Harris enters. She is a thin woman in her late 30s, rather more smartly dressed than the general run of schoolmasters' wives. She is wearing a cape and carries a shopping basket. She closes the door and then stands by the screen watching Tableau and Frank. It is a few seconds before they notice her.
Come along, Tableau. Do not be so selfish to keep a good joke to yourself. Oh, Lord. Oh! Hello!
Hello.
Do you think she heard?
I think she did. She was standing there quite a time.
If she didn't tell him, there goes my remote.
Nonsense.
Waiting for my husband.
Yes.
Well, he's at the bursars and might be there quite a time. If I were you, I'd go.
He said most particularly I was to come.
Well, then why don't you run away for a quarter of an hour and then come back?
Supposing he gets there before me.
I'll take the blame. I'll tell you what, you can do a job for him. Take this prescription to the chemist and get it made up.
Alright, Mrs. Crocker-Harris.
I would like to thank our respected teacher, Mr. Sami, on behalf of the entire team for providing us with the wonderful opportunity of performing the play on the Browning version.